everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sylvia's episode talk. I cannot talk today. So I am here with a bunch of amazing people. We will be doing a group podcast for the first time ever. I am here with Lani, Ish, Amanda, Jay, and Scarlett. So say hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
So let's just jump right into it. What do we all just think about episode stories? That's what we'll just start with.
Yeah. Well, before we started the podcast, we were all ranting about so much in the community, just about how a lot of readers expect writers to write their expectations of their stories. And we were just talking about how episode stories, even though it is for a kids app, it also can have real stories with, real concepts and not just falling in love with the bad boy and being in love. And I feel like a lot of readers forget about that, because I know I have a story called Temporary Bliss where I killed off the main characters. And I love it. Thanks, guys.
Huge spoiler.
Spoiler, guys.
Honestly, that's the whole story, so I might as well just tell them. But yeah, I literally turned off my fan mail because people were like, they didn't really die. And I'm like, well, you tell that to them because they're dead. So
No, wait. I wrote the story. I think I know if they really died or not.
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of readers think, because I don't know about you guys, but in your fan mail, do you guys get people being like, well, this should happen this way. This should happen now. This should happen in the next chapter.
Yes.
And you're like, all right, well, forgot you were writing it, Sally.
Yep.
Well, it even, I've turned my fan mail off because I find that 75% of my fan mail is very repetitive.
Yeah.
So now they just come into my DMs asking the same stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. When you turn off your fan mail, they find a way. They just creep in. You're like, I thought I got rid of you.
Or they think that they can control the story. They're like, oh, why doesn't this happen? Why isn't there more interaction with the love interest? I'm like, do you want to take the computer and write it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's supposed to be an interactive story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's supposed to be an interactive story, and I know that, but I know for some of my stories, though, I take some episodes and just focus on the main character and like their family or and their friends, and some people are like, well, where'd the love interest go?
Yeah, or like if you have a story without a love interest, they're like, when do they have sex? You're like, I don't even have anyone to have sex with. What do you mean?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, heaven forbid there's no romance, right?
I know.
And I think that's what makes a lot of people just lose interest in writing overall, because there's too many expectations. So when someone's like, I'm going to write off social media, I'm just going to focus on my writing, I'm be like, go ahead. Because, like, you want to write your feelings. Like, you want to put everything in the things that you write. But then there's, like, some 7-year-old telling you that they should kiss tomorrow. And, like, you're like, you know what? Just never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say that. No, go ahead.
It's a double-edged sword, because you want to stay away from like the fan mail and the social media because you have all of these demands and it really demotivates you as a writer. But the only way to really promote your story and get it out there is, guess what? Through social media.
Yeah.
So
to me, I honestly don't care about promoting stories. I feel like I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to post, of course, about it. Like, this is my story. But promoting the entire thing and doing like a sneak peek and before and after and whatever, like, this is, I don't care about reads as much as I care of like sharing my art. I don't care about politics or whatever. I feel like this is my art. I want people to like know me for my art, not because I have 1 million reads or like 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
I feel like I want people to know my art, not like my platform. So I really don't mind like not being on Instagram, to be honest.
It's like Jen was saying, it's kind of hard to not have social media when you are writing, though, because I know when I first started writing, I didn't have social media. And I went through that like phase where you're like, why isn't anyone reading it? And then as soon as you get social media, it just like changes it all. It's like,
Oh my
for
God.
some reason with episode, you have to have social media to ever get noticed. But then I think some people expect social media to make their story be like insanely popular. Like as soon as they get their Instagram, they're like, where are my
No.
reads? Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is so true. I've had so many people write me saying, hey, can you just promote my story? I want more.
Yes.
Like, you think when I started, I asked a bunch of people to promote my stories? No. When I started, I remember I wrote a few people, and I remember I just was one, and I wrote her asking if she would, check the story out, and she said, yeah, and she actually gave me feedback and tips and all that, but she didn't promote it or nothing.
Yeah.
I was a fan of hers at the time too, so.
Do you ever get the followers that ask you to help write their stories?
Yeah.
I laugh though.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
all of
just
us
about
at
to
least
say.
get that at least once.
Oh man, it's so frustrating because you want to be nice to them because they like your work and they like you and they're just trying to reach out and be nice, but at the same time you just want to like punch them in the face.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You're like, sure, I'll try. And then they're like, all right, well, what do you think should happen next? And you're like, no. Well, hold on. That's not what I said.
Yeah, it's like I'll help you with like if you need help figuring out something. Like I know for a few things
Yeah.
I did with The Secret, I asked how they did it, and they told me, and I was like, okay, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Well-
to ask you, oh, what do you think should happen next? Oh, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? It's not my story. It's
Yeah.
story.
Well, then for me, because I'm also I'm known for a lot of my directing, I get a lot of DMs. Hey, I have this story idea. If you want to use it, hey, if you want to use this write this story for me, direct this story for me. I'm like, man, I have so many stories in my head. I don't have enough time to write what I want to write.
Yeah. And it's also hard to like write somebody else's story because it's not your story to get motivated off of.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense. Lani, what do you get messages about? Have you ever had
Well,
one
for
message where
me-
you're like, oof?
I mean, for me, it's mostly because I'm not an author, so I don't get these kind of messages, but I get messages about my art, like just basically who just request art for free just out of nowhere. So these are the kind
Right.
of ones that, yeah.
Have you ever had somebody like ask for art and then you do it for them and it wasn't what they envisioned? So they're like,
Yes,
Oh.
I did. There's this girl. I had my requests open at that time. So she asked for something. I did it. She was like, okay. And then 1 week later, she messaged, we still follow each other. Like, it's not any hard feelings against her.
Right.
But like, she messaged me 1 week later. She was like, okay, so where is my, and I was like, I sent it to you. And she was like,